what is my legal advice for what apartment complex? Is that private property?
Robert, I think we know where you're going here. Let's get you right to Matt here.
Yeah, Robert, and there are two aspects we kind of have to think about. First is your standard. There's a body of law in Mississippi, and it's called trip and fall or slip and fall law. And let me talk about that briefly, and then there's a second part I want to kind of talk about maybe a little more. And the first is, that property owners have a duty to maintain their premises in a reasonably safe manner, or to warn of anything that's hidden or any condition that's dangerous. They have to put signage up, watch your step, or things like that. So that's one issue. So, but a second issue is, as well is the ADA, the Americans with Disability Act. So particularly with your son's issues, if the apartment complex is big enough, they have to comply with those rules and regulations for wheelchair access, things like that, to get that. So, and that's a complicated analysis, and there's threshold limits. Not everyone has to comply with those standards. You have to have a complex of a certain size to get there, but that may kind of apply in this case, and that kind of makes it a federal case. But there are two aspects you'd want to look at, and that is kind of Mississippi common law regarding trip and falls, and then of course, and then also the ADA and how that would apply. So those are definitely two areas I'd want to look at in that kind of case.
Matt, I don't want to project anything on Robert, but it sounds like he's had a very long and frustrating day.
Indeed.
And you can hear a little bit of emotion there.
Indeed.
And understandable.
Sure.
Is this something he needs to do on his own, look into these things, or is it worth a phone call?
Absolutely. No, not on his own. I mean, those standards, anything, quite frankly, the federal government has produced, those things it's an entire book of a 3-volume book actually about the standards, so very complicated. So no, there are a lot of lawyers on the coast that specialize in that area, so absolutely. I'd obviously take the weekend off, kind of, focus on the important thing was the health of your son, but then I would say early next week, go out there and call a lawyer. And what you may want to do as well is take some photos out there, take some photos of the scene of what happened, so when he goes and he talks to whoever lawyer he contacts, it's always nice to have those photos to say this is what happened, because it not only preserves, what happened in case someone tries to correct it, but it also helps the lawyer understand exactly what happened.
Yeah,
so think about the photos.
Robert, thanks so much for the call tonight. Hope everything goes well this weekend and your son has a speedy recovery. Please give us a call back if you ever need us in the future.